Boo! Ha! Surprise! We're back! It's me, Yahtzee Croshaw.
Yeah, and my name is Scrabbles Morton.
No, it's not. It's Gabriel.
I have so many of those, so get used to them.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Pop-O-Matic Jones.
Gabriel, the person I do this podcast with, by the same principle that an ugly girl will go out on the town with her slightly uglier friend.
I do make you look better by comparison.
Yes, because I know if I say something incredibly horrible, I'll have you to bring up bumming guard dogs or 8-year-olds spattered with cum.
Hey, you're the one with the nice vagina comment.
It's been a long time, hasn't it, moving hastily on?
It has and all. I mean, what?
How long?
I don't remember the last one we did.
How long has it been?
I'm sure some lunatic will post it in the comments who's been counting the days.
Yes, exactly that long. Well, the first item that springs to mind is that lovely skin tone you've been rocking for the last couple of days. And if I were a man who came up with the names for paint colours, I would put it somewhere around Hemorrhage Sunset. Essentially,
It's like a, rupture dawn. That is what happens when I go in the sun. I've been a night dweller and a night worker for pretty much all of my life. My DNA is like Norse and Scottish and doesn't understand the giant flaming ball in the sky.
I love that. I love being able to say, because my heritage is Scottish as well. It's great to be able to say that instead of we are pasty weakling twats.
Yeah, it sounds better than I look like an axolotl when I take my shirt off. Like you can see my heartbeat. It's gross. If I get a sunburn, like I get a tan on my heart.
What's an axolotl?
An axolotl is a weird thing. It's like,
I know the name, but I've never been clear on what it is.
Well, okay, so there's a salamander, and a salamander's a lizard. But before it's a salamander, it's an axolotl. And if you do something to it, like if you push B so it doesn't evolve, it becomes an axolotl instead, and it maintains this aquatic state. So it's like they call them Mexican walking fish. So it's like this weird.
What are you banging on about?
It's a thing. It's like a thing you can buy for a pet. It's an animal.
Well, anyway. I always thought sunburn is like the ultimate argument against creationists. Because they say to you that God has created this glorious planet for us all to live on, only for us, and I'm just saying.
Why does it ever go anywhere away from 25 degrees? It should just stay there. Yes. Maybe get up to 28 if we feel like swimming. That's it.
Yes, I mean, sunburn. It's a one-word question. Sunburn. He creates this planet specifically for us, but he puts this thing in the sky that will kill us. Kill us if we hang around too much in it au naturel, which is incidentally the condition in which he places us on this earth. I don't know, it doesn't kind of sound like he's on our side on this deal.
Well, that's what I always love about this sort of, creationist version of God. Like, just the whole, how do you explain the fossils? And it's just like, oh, he's testing us. And it's like, oh, that sounds...
This is the test. I'd hate to see the final exam.
But I like the idea of just, God's more like Q from Star Trek. He's just a dick. Just really a dick. Just bored. Just fucking like me with a fucking magnifying glass messing with ants.
Well, yes, to bring it back to something I said in Zero Punctuation once. If you want to get an impression of what God would be like, examine any given person playing any God game, or any game in which they have control over large numbers of small...
It starts out noble and degenerates so quickly.
Small, insignificant beings.
My cousin used to do the most messed up stuff with the Sims when it first came out. Just walk in there and he'd be doing this for hours, just playing the game.
Did he do the usual thing where you just immure them?
He'd just have a baby, and then he'd build a fence around the baby and just watch it, or he'd build a fence around his neighbor and make out with his neighbor's wife and just watch him get angrier and angrier. And again, it's not like he was doing this for 20 minutes and then going, all right, fuck this, I'm gonna go do something else now. This, you'd spend 3 hours playing the game this way. I'm just like, that's...
Sort of immurement for retards, the white picket fence.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things. It's a bit like Minecraft, where I'm glad it exists, because I'm sure it's keeping a bunch of really, really dangerous serial killers occupied.
I like playing Minecraft.
I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying the shit I have seen people build in this, all I can think is somewhere there's a full moon killer that's not killing anymore.
I built a skull fortress.
See, it's not that. It's like someone used the tone blocks and built, if you run through it at a certain rate, it plays,
Still Alive?
Yeah, no, not Still Alive. It was one of the Queen songs.
I've seen one that does Still Alive.
Yeah, I mean, my point is, the trial and error it would take to structure where all these little blocks needed to be to play, because it had harmonies and everything. Like, this was fucking complicated. Don't Stop Me Now. That's right, it was Don't Stop Me Now. So they played the whole of Don't Stop Me Now with harmony, and I'm just like, that's insane. Like, how long would that have taken you?
That's still like the mid-range. I've seen people build entire functioning computers in Minecraft.
Oh yeah, I've seen that as well. Like a 126K computer. I'm just like, that's...
Presumably they weren't doing adventure mode when they created that. Because I made a Skull Fortress in adventure mode. That's where you're constantly being attacked by monsters and you have to acquire all your resources mined out of the ground.
A purpose.
And there's the arty mode where you can just build whatever.
Just build.
But that's Minecraft, and that is a gaming topic, which we're staying away from.
Well, dude, I mean, okay, here's the problem. You have to do other things that aren't gaming sometimes. Like, you're going to have to come, like, see a movie a week with me or some shit, because otherwise, we're just going to wind up back onto a similar, like, a mutual topic.
Oh, look who's talking. What have you been doing for the last however many months?
Well, at the moment, yeah. Well, I mean, I've done other things.
Yes. Anything springing to mind immediately?
Training a little bit more. That's about it.
Yes.
Enjoying unemployment. It's fantastic. It's like a holiday, but I don't get paid.
You don't get paid. You don't get paid in normal holiday. How did you find Melbourne, by the way?
Well, it's a city in Australia. Like, that's the thing, is it's a city in Australia.
Thank you for filling in the blanks for our less
well, no, I hate this. Melbourne's so different. And it's like, no, it isn't. It isn't. It's a fucking city in Australia. You know what's different between Melbourne and Brisbane? Melbourne's 5 times as big, spread out, and instead of Lebanese kebab joints, you have Greek souvlaki joints. That's the difference. There you go.
Oh, tish, pish, posh.
And
Melbourne has so many different things.
Know, and it's
got a much better cafe culture. It's got cafes all over the place. I love the Melbourne cafes.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Brisbane's got fucking cafes
but
too,
not as many as good cafes.
There's
not as many like
find a place I like and I just go there anyway.
There's not as many douchebag hipster cafes like there are in Melbourne.
Oh, because I was in Fitzroy and I remember saying just the friend saying to me at the time, don't make too much fun of Fitzroy being hipstery, because that's just what it is, and you just be an idiot for making fun of it. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I don't really give a shit two ways about it anyway.
Making fun of Tumblr for being hipstery.
Yeah, and then, the whole hipster thing's fucking an empty comment anyway. But then there's little things. It's like I had to go to the hardware store to pick up some paint to do some stuff, and it was a hipster hardware store. It had a tip jar. Why does a hardware store have a goddamn tip jar? That was insane.
Well, maybe someone sells you paint really, really well. He says, would you like this? We call it ruptured spleen.
It was astonishing. And then on my way back, at 3 separate cafes, there were 3 separate people taking pictures of the book they were reading at jaunty angles with old-fashioned cameras. And that was my first week in Fitzroy, was just that. I'm just like,
we are veering back and forth between topics, as is perhaps to be expected, but
a drunken meander that is our conversation.
But I think those people on like Tumblr or whatever, or wherever, who are always posting pictures of their books and saying, "Oh, I love books. I got to have a big solid book in my hands." I think those guys are full of shit.
Yes,
because if you cared about writing, you wouldn't care how you absorbed it. If you cared about the content of the text, you wouldn't mind if you were reading it on a little window.
No, I hate that kind of sort of prejudice of media, where it's like, when I was in high school, it was like, I don't own a TV. Why? Because TV's stupid. It's like, no, it's a medium, you fucking idiot. There's shit on it, and there's also awesome stuff on it. You can't rag on a whole fucking medium. It just makes you a fucking moron. And this whole it's a Kindle. Shut up.
Well, there is a lot of shit, to be fair.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of shit in everything. There's a lot of shit books. I mean, how that brings me neatly to my first item.
But books are not funneled into your home.
I suppose that's true. Actually, I would like that.
Unlike floated in front of your face when you're bored in the evening.
There should be a book funnel in the house. Like, I just push a button, get a book.
Like just stitch all your books together like the Bayer tapestry and have it just move slowly across your field of view.
I actually looked into, you can buy the complete Penguin Classics.
We covered this in a previous podcast.
Did we?
Yes.
Shit.
Show me your first item.
All right. Well, okay, this is something that's simultaneously depressing, but also heartening. Just look at that. Look at it.
I'm looking at the official novelization of the film Spider-Man 3.
I know.
Written by Peter David, based on the screenplay by Alvin Sargent.
Okay, so it's...
Jesus, there's 12 people credited on the front of this thing.
Yeah, and
the novel writer, the screenplay writer, the story by Sam Raimi and Ivan Raimi, and based on the Marvel comic book by.
And it's all the awesomeness of the story of Spider-Man 3 without the hassle of special effects or seeing things happening.
Getting to see all the spectacular things that is the only possible reason you would ever want to see Spider-Man 3.
And of all the ones, Spider-Man 3, the most abortively bad... I mean, that thing's worse than the, X-Men Origins Wolverine. Like, it is a terrible superhero movie by any measure.
It's pretty bad.
And as I've been trying, like, I've been desperately trying to locate, like, sort of the novelized bit where, like, Peter's decided to go all emo and is, like, just walking down the streets dancing and just, like some of the...
Cocker.
He does too.
Have you found it?
I think I have. With more money in his pocket than he could remember having in quite a while, Peter strode the streets of New York as if he owned the city. He winked at passing women and received approving smiles. That's a sentence in a book. That's what I mean. Like, this is depressing on so many levels that this book was written and sold and actually has a human being's name on the front. But on the plus side, if this has been written and sold and has a human being's name on the front of it, well, fuck it. I can achieve anything.
Well, it's just the studio system, isn't it?
I know, but
there's pencil cases and video games and lunchboxes.
It just gets back to it's.
I think some of this stuff just happens automatically. No one goes out of their way to make it happen. It just happens.
Who is that book for? Like who bought? Who?
I don't have a snarky answer to that. I was going to say tards, but
tards don't read. That's the thing.
Yeah, the film is for tards.
Yeah, the film is where you get the morons. I mean, you're not getting any great literati going, I much prefer the novelization of Spider-Man 3.
Oh, awesome. I randomly opened it on Bruce Campbell's cameo scene.
Ah, that's fantastic.
His eyes crinkling with carefully cultivated French disdain.
That's Bruce Campbell. It's like being there.
Well, Bruce Campbell is of Scottish origin rather than French.
Yeah, I know, but they had him put on an accent for the film.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie blew. That movie sucked so hard.
It certainly did. But I've been hearing a lot of buzz about the new Spider-Man film that's coming out.
Yeah, so have I. I quite like the fact that we're getting to a point where if a movie sucks, they go, fuck it and reboot it. I don't care if it's just a cynical grab for money. It means I get more shots at actually seeing something I might like.
Well, I do get annoyed when they try to keep a series going, even though it's been completely fucked over in previous installments.
Well, that's why I like the reboot, where it's just like, right, fuck it, done, we're doing another one. That one didn't count. I like that.
I think they're a little bit hasty these days. I mean, rebooting with Batman Begins after the Joel Schumacher films, fine, that makes sense.
That was a decade.
But it just seemed like they went Spider-Man 1, great, Spider-Man 2, great, Spider-Man 3, not so good, reboot, hit the button.
But
mash your foot against the pedal.
Screech to a halt.
It seems they're a little too paranoid these days.
Yeah, but Spider-Man 3 was really bad.
It was bad, but that was mostly because of the studios.
Yeah, but...
Well, the way I got heard was that Sam Raimi making the, self-indulgent thing that was the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. He was working on a plot that was just Sandman, because that was his personal favourite villain.
Good villain. Good idea for a character, Interesting power, represents well on screen.
I don't know. I think you can sort of bullshit a lot of ways with it.
Yeah.
But the studio said, "Oh, Venom's he's popular. Put him in."
And also, that is because Venom's fucking awesome.
Also, Gwen Stacy put her in too, for some reason.
Yeah. Fuck it, Carnage.
So we can snap her fucking neck.
Wasn't that Mary Jane?
No, it was Gwen Stacy. In the comic continuity,
yeah.
Not that I read it, but sometimes I'm bored and reading Wikipedia articles.
I do that more than I read actual comics as well.
Yeah, and it was apparently Gwen Stacy fell off a bridge and he saved her with the webs, but in one of the few cases comic books acknowledging physics, the sudden deceleration made her neck snap.
Isn't he meant to be a physics student?
Well, he's meant to be a lot of things.
Yeah, I suppose.
He's meant to be the kind of high school genius who can create a miracle adhesive.
Yeah, that nobody else wants to buy for some reason.
In his spare time.
I create miracle adhesives in my spare time.
Great. Great. We'll be here all week, folks.
I'm so lonely.
So here's one for you. Staying with this topic as long as we can. Do you prefer Mechanical web shooters or organic web shooters?
Organic. Because, okay, like, my big... I can't remember, I think it was just in the animated series where, as an offhand line, he said that something in the bite gave him the knowledge to make the webbing, or that he could just make the webbing. And I'm like... That's a useful thing. Like, I don't understand how he couldn't sell that. And I remember someone saying, he tried to sell it, but, no one wanted it because it evaporated. And I was like, that's still useful. That's quite useful. It's still a very useful thing. Like,
yeah, it's like an instant battlefield suture.
Yeah.
To be, like, corrected with surgery later on. Or, perhaps you could use it to swing around a city.
I know, because... If you take the webbing or factor out of it, or just give the webbing to me with web shooters that shot like that would still be pretty fucking useful.
Yeah,
I mean, just like a bunch of riot control police. It's just like riot, done.
Wouldn't be able to web swing much in Brisbane. You'd be isolated to fighting crime in the CBD.
Yeah, I've got like about a 4-block radius of usefulness, and then I'm just a dude running around.
Well, there's a lot of like drunken violence goes on around there on a Friday night.
Yeah, it's mostly in the valley, and there's not enough buildings in the valley.
No, I think the valley would be more suited to a daredevil type, the one who runs across rooftops and just like jumps down and beats people up.
Beats the holy hell out of people.
Yeah, not so much the like Tarzan swinging from tree to tree business.
Nah, it just doesn't work.
But I kind of like mechanical web shooters because I don't know, some of these powers people get seem a wee bit convenient, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously you're going to be stretching science a bit in these things.
Just a tad.
But I think the best example of that is like that one comic of The Flash, where Kid Flash is struck by lightning while chemicals fall on him and his costume changes. And that was the excuse they come up with for changing his costume.
That's like, why not just... I changed my costume. Like, hey guys, the old look was skewing a bit, 70s, so I thought, fuck it, update the old look.
I guess it creates an absolution of responsibility, if the fans complain, hey, lightning.
It's not our fault, lightning and science.
It wasn't out of character.
I don't know. That's what, what I hate most about like so much of the new superhero stuff going around. Like, and I don't mean like new superhero films based on existing properties, but things like Heroes and stuff like that. I mean, beyond the fact that Heroes descended into absurd awfulness.
Yeah, I stopped watching after
it went to shit.
Yeah, what was the season I stopped watching? It ended with some lady who could turn into water.
Oh yeah. You're not missing anything.
Fine.
Honestly, I could explain. It would waste time and your life would be no richer.
Okay.
But I mean, like, what drives me mental is...
Hey, does Christopher Eccleston come back?
No.
Oh.
Yep, there it is. That's done.
Oh, that's a shame. Because I've always liked invisibility as a superpower. I'd want that one.
Well, I mean, see, that's the thing. Out of all the people getting these powers, and by the end of it, it was like kryptonite, the most common fucking material on planet Earth. Apparently everyone gets a fucking nugget of it when they, turn 13. It was one of these things where not one fucking person got a power and thought, awesome. Everyone was like, this sucks, woe is me, I'm indestructible. It's like, no, what? Fuck off. That would be sweet.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I remember there's people saying that they created the character of Hiro Nakamura precisely to avoid that. They wanted to have at least one character who really fucking loved their powers.
And then they made him completely overpowered and had to spend most of the story explaining why he couldn't just solve the problem.
I guess that's always the issue with the time traveler, isn't it?
They should have just made him a teleporter, and it would have been, oh, cool, he can teleport. But no, it's like he has mastery over the space-time continuum. And I'm like, well, that's a bit of a fucking, ace up the sleeve to have. It's kind of hard to find issues for this guy.
I guess that was a science thing because, if you can fold space, you can pretty much fold space-time as well. It's just Einsteinian physics.
I love that level of, physics in a show about superheroes. Yeah. Oh my god, we have to keep it strict to the physics.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm making this up.
I know, actually, I have a book that could shed some light on this situation.
How many books did you bring today?
Yeah, I'm loaded up with literature. I got The Fabric of the Cosmos by Brian Greene.
Is it good?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, the value of information to me is only in its communicability. I mean, there's no point knowing something if you can't explain it to somebody else. And Brian Greene's a good example of someone who can take, complex ideas and whittle them down and just make a simple analogy out of them so I can go, oh, that's nice, I know something now.
Do you think Brian Greene could explain why movie novelizations happen?
I don't think even he could explain that. I think that's more of a philosophical thing.
Did you notice me trying to swing the topic back in line there?
To books?
Yes, to movie novelizations. Why such a thing exists.
Well, especially, I can understand a movie novelization of a movie that's not a fucking summer blockbuster.
Well, so many films are based on novels anyway.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, it's a summer blockbuster. It doesn't do anything but be shiny, and you sit in the cinema and you go, ooh, look at that. Whittling that down to book form is just, it's like having a novelization of a video game that describes what the player's doing. It's just peculiar.
I once read the novelization of Under a Killing Moon, the Tex Murphy adventure game.
See, that would be interesting, because that's a very plot-driven...
It was. It kind of like messed with the plot a bit.
Damn it.
It was interesting.
How dare they not strictly adhere to the Tex Murphy adventures?
Now, I could understand the novelization of something like, I don't know, Inception? Well, not Inception, because that's all about really great
visuals
as well.
I hated people saying that movie was complicated. That drove me nuts. It's not complicated. It's just like, do you get confused when people go into other rooms? I mean, do you think they just disappear?
I guess the thing is, when you adapt a novel to the big screen, everyone's saying, oh, the characters don't look like how I imagine them. I guess they're just trying to create books that avoid that issue. I don't know, you raise a good point, because I'm thinking about it and I can't really think of a reason why you'd still have movie novelizations. Maybe you could download the book onto your laptop e-reader and put it on one side of the screen, then download the film and put it on the other, and just follow along with the action.
I know, it's bizarre. And again, of a summer blockbuster, of a thing that was touted for its special effects. I mean, I read the Sandman fight scene in this. Not quite as fun.
Yeah, because usually with books...
it's a description of the awesome special effects that just... It's
usually when books have action scenes, you're putting it together in your head and imagining all the struggle and stuff, but this exists in a viewable format. You don't do that.
And, I mean, it's one of those things where I think, in the written word, if you sit and ponderously explain everything that's going on in your action sequence, it's fucking boring. It's better to be I think, with describing an action sequence in a book, to be broad rather than specific.
I think it's very important to avoid getting bogged down in description.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you've got this all lined up in your head, but you don't need to explain the exact layout of the place. Just tell us what happens in it, and we'll probably fill in the blanks ourselves, Well,
I mean, I think that's half the fun of, a book. I just finished reading LA Confidential. And that book is really good for just fuck description, go. It really does just pelt along at a pace and sort of let you fill in a lot of what these people look like. You get some occasional descriptions. It's like, Jackie's wearing a Hawaiian shirt. It's like, cool.
Like one of those books that's mostly dialogue. Because someone was showing me Time Enough for Love by Robert A. Heinlein the other day.
No.
And just looking at a random page, it was just like line of dialogue in quotes with no attribution at any point. But apparently very big on incest. Robert A. Heinlein. Here we go back to the fun topics. Because this book, Time Enough for Love, it's about this... I haven't read it myself. I'm just this is second-hand information. But it's about this guy who's thousands of years old, and he goes through life fucking his relatives.
I love that.
And every time he does, there's an entire chapter explaining why it's all right. I'm serious.
That is, oh, God. That's one of those things where it'll turn out Heinlein's parents were related, and we'll all go, oh, it's a surprise, the day that I found out Chuck Palahniuk was gay, and it's oh.
Chuck Palahniuk's gay?
I know, who'd have thought it?
That explains the Guts short story.
It's when you watch Fight Club again after realizing he's gay, it's this makes all the sense now. How did I not see this before? I'm an idiot. And probably a bit gay myself, to be honest. Did not pick that up. And you seriously rewatch it, you just go, this is one of the most amazing pieces of homoerotic fiction I've ever seen in my entire life. I
don't think I've ever really gotten a gay vibe from Fight Club. Probably because I know the twist.
It's gay.
Surely it's just gay. Masturbatory, if anything.
Yeah, but
I guess there's hugging the man with bitch tits, but that's a man with feminine characteristics.
But it's all it's all that sort of real masculine. It's I don't know. Watching it again, don't get me wrong. It's one of my favorite movies and one of my favorite books, and I love it to death.
You heard it first, internet. Gabe thinks Fight Club is gay.
It is. It is really, really gay. That's the scene and the moment in the book where like the narrator who never gets a name. His name's not fucking Jack. I don't care what anybody says his name. He never has a name. He's just the narrator because he's a meaningless aside to the ego representation of Tyler Durden.
Yeah.
When Tyler Durden starts showing favor to the new kid who is the pretty boy.
Hey.
Yeah, and
Tyler Durden's not the ego. Tyler Durden's the id.
Whatever.
Don't you know your Jungian psychology?
No.
Sorry, do continue.
No, I watched Dr. Phil, dude. It makes much more sense.
I didn't realise there was a Dr. Philian psychology.
There is, and it's mostly like homespun witticisms that don't really apply to anything.
I'm going to say don't bring up Nathan Fillion just because I said Dr. Philian.
I wasn't going to.
Well, I was going to say that to the people who were going to post comments under this.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like him, but...
I just wanted to hit that off at the pass.
I know what you're doing, Internet. Stop it.
Yes.
But, damn it, now I forgot what I was saying.
Good, so have I.
That's such a fantastic line of thought we were on there. It was something to do with Tyler Durden. Oh, that's right. And he gets really butthurt and jealous over the fact that Tyler Durden's paying attention to this other kid and beats the shit out of him, and it's a complete jealous lover rage. That it is the most jealous, and the whole love triangle with Marla. It's jealousy. It is really it's a gay love story.
You know what? I think it reflects more you might call it childish playground dynamic, where you get jealous because your best friend is playing with some other kid.
Oh, there's definitely elements of that, but.
I love this theory I once read online that you probably heard this one, Internet, that the characters in Fight Club are the characters of Calvin and Hobbes plus about 20 years.
Yep.
So the main character is Calvin. Tyler Durden is Hobbes, who's been sort of twisted by years of being under the thumb of the man. What's her name is Susie Durkins, and Meatloaf's character is Mo the Bully.
Mr. Loaf.
Makes a lot of sense.
It really does. Great, now I got weird gay Calvin and Hobbes fan fiction going in my head.
Because just Calvin, not Calvin, Tyler Durden is the one who gets off with whatever her name was.
Marla.
And in the comic strip, Hobbes was the one who was interested in girls, whereas Calvin thought they were disgusting.
Wow, that is a good point. It is it's just the same fucking thing.
Because Hobbes was an expression of Calvin's repressed, childhood sexuality. God, this is a horrible conversation now. Why did I have to say childhood sexuality?
I say, it'd be fun. Let's discuss our mutual issues with women.
Childhood knowledge of gender politics. Dig up. So, shall I do an item?
Yep. Quick, look around the room, find something.
I did have something planned. It's one of the items on this table here. Can you tell which?
The can of Mortine?
No.
Damn.
That was there because I was killing a spider. It scuttled across the balcony door really close to my face and it freaked me out.
What kind of spider was it?
Huntsman.
I fucking hate huntsmen. They're the only ones that still give me the willies. Everything else I can cope with. Just those big fuckers, man. You ever seen one of them run at something? It's fucking horrifying.
The corpse. I left the corpse there, but I think the cleaner moved him.
Just as a warning to the rest of the spiders.
Yes. It's the same principle why you'd put skulls on spikes on the outside of a monster cave.
That's just the right place to put them, otherwise they clutter up the floor.
Well, quite.
It's oops. It's like leaving used condoms all around your room as a statement of your sexual prowess.
Yes. That's
what I do, at least.
I like to leave the wrappers around as a message to the cleaner.
That was always my joke about. Well, I was never worried if I was out of town. I was out of town for a while, and sort of I live in a share house, and people get drunk there, so there's even odds of someone staggering into my room to fuck. And everyone was going oh, I couldn't stand that, and I was like, I wouldn't give a shit because I know whoever did that would be coming out as the loser on that end. You've just there's more of me on you than there is you on me, there, friend.
Right. I wouldn't stagger into my roommate's room to fuck. But then we're a nice, sensible, level-headed sort of house.
Well, that and you've got 2 people in 2 rooms. It'd be a weird situation for that to be necessary.
Yes.
I'm talking parties. I am not that... I mean, if I'm in the house and I walk into my room and there's people in there, then it's what are you doing?
What are you doing, and why aren't you doing it with me?
Yeah, I know. That's the rule. Like, if there's sex happening in my bedroom, I get to be a part of it.
Yes, forcefully if necessary.
I'm taking my pants off and this is happening, so you best start choosing.
Yeah.
If there's one thing life's taught me, it's the tops of heads all look the same.
Right. And an asshole is an asshole, right?
It's all warm.
It's all warm. It's all a moment of fleeting comfort in this cold world.
Nothing like a girl with a fever.
Anyway, guess again.
Fuck, that was my money guess. I got no idea that I legitimately...
It's this.
Oh, I didn't even see that. What is... Fisherman's Friends. I like Fisherman's Friends.
I love Fisherman's Friends.
They help me get through, like, having colds and having to work on the door.
Sometimes I like to put a Fisherman's Friend in my mouth just before I record zero punctuation, just to clear the old pipes.
Get a little bit of fire going.
Yes, I love sucking on Fisherman's Friends. I like to, tongue a Fisherman's Friend.
It's like that video I saw on the internet of the guy putting the fish in his butthole.
It's an obvious joke, isn't it? Let's suck on a Fisherman's Friend. And I have a question.
Yes.
Do marketing people... They know about these jokes, right?
I don't know, like, every now and then you'll meet someone who's just so perfectly doe-eyed and innocent toward the world that they really don't see it, and it's fantastic. It's like walking into a clearing and just seeing a deer and it looks up at you and you're like, oh.
But these, a lot of people go into, the naming of things. And marketing circles, they'll almost certainly be, younger men. Between the ages of 20 and 40.
Well, you think they'd focus test it? I mean, I don't know, man. I've seen some fucking dumb shit get through, marketing processes.
This is my point. Maybe it's not dumb shit getting through. Maybe it's stuff that's deliberately getting through so that people who think they're smart, like you and I, will look at those things and notice the joke and tweet it, and the name gets around one way or another.
That's what I hate about marketing so much, is just the hijacking of basic culture. God, I just want to kill them all.
Yes, I think marketing guys are smart enough to notice these things. I mean, another perfect example, Golden Gay Time. You know,
that's from a different era, though. That was old when I was in primary school.
Well, fair enough, but this is my point. Golden Gay Time is a brand of ice cream here in
really, really tasty ice cream
here in sunny, delicious Australia. It's a
and Wheeze bars are they're my summer.
It's a stick-based ice cream with
some biscuit bits and some
ice cream wrapped in biscuit bits and caramel and
It's
stuff.
really nice.
It is very nice.
It's a pleasant summer fucking treat.
The marketing slogan that I've seen this treat advertised with in recent years,
I think now they're running with
very, very recent years, is it's hard to have a gay time on your own. Now, if this was some kind of product specifically designed to be used by more than one person, that would you might think that was an innocent thing that got passed.
Yeah,
but this
isn't one of those ones with the two sticks that you can actually break and share with other people. This
is a solo. Yeah. So they know there's a double entendre in that. They fucking know there's a double entendre in that.
Yeah,
they want people who think they're the only person to have noticed to put that name around.
Get it. Gay sex.
It's insidious, is what it is.
It's just another part of the liberal gay agenda trying to make me eat ice cream and have butt sex, I think.
Before, during, or after?
All three.
Do you want to
Depends on how quick you're going.
I just have a horrible image now.
Think of ice cream to not go too soon.
I just have a horrible image now of Golden Gay Time protruding from the...
Dude.
Do I need to continue this one?
Yeah, you may as well. From the urethra. He was saying from the urethra.
See? This is why I keep you around, man. You're the one who'll say it.
Well, skirting, I hate that kind of thing where, it's like when someone says, oh, fudge. You mean fuck? Is that what you were trying to say? Is that the thing that you made me immediately think when you said fudge? Because it's the word that you say to cover when you want to say fuck. So thereby making the whole fucking thing completely meaningless? Just fucking swear. Well, don't clean it up. It's dumb.
Well, speaking as a humorist, I sometimes find that a bleeped out swear has greater comic punch than an actual swear.
That's different, though. That's humor through omission. I've seen that used to great effect. Arrested Development did it really, really well when Lindsay and Michael were going on about it, saying mean things about their mother. And then Buster finally gets really worked up and decides to join in and just says something that's completely bleeped out. And Michael just sort of stares at him, just shocked, and like with a bit of just dread and horror in his face, he just goes, well, I don't think anybody's going to top that. And of course, because you don't, anything, when you find out what it is, it's not funny.
No,
it's the not knowing that makes it funny. And I'll admit that, but also, it's the oh fudge. Like, I don't mind censoring, that's funny.
This is why, the meaning of life is a pointless thing to look into. Because the moment, if we ever did actually figure that out, it's no way going to satisfy.
Well, it's like looking for the corner in a fucking circular room. The second you start searching, you've missed the point.
I mean, you go looking for the meaning of life, and then you find out the reason for humanity's existence is to grow carrots in a
just the universe needed carrots.
Yes, in a farming settlement, and we just go, oh.
We needed the Dutch to want to grow a very nationalist vegetable, and as a result, the universe has orange carrots. And now humanity's going to wipe itself out, and we'll have carrots. There we go, done.
Yep.
Ding!
We're done.
Next species.
Yes, it's all part of the great plan.
The great confusing plan.
Yes. Well, there's a big universe, man. Not every planet can have a big role in the great plan.
Yeah, someplace just, someone has to make the fucking carrots.
There's one planet that just exists to create enough gravitational pull so that another planet can create the triple-breasted hooker.
3-tit.
Ah, yes.
I used to love, that was growing up, with my parents, because they were, all into organic food and stuff when I was young, and I didn't have a haircut till I was, 4. So my granddad was worried that they were sissifying me. And he used to take it upon himself. Whenever it was, go over to granddad's, it was time to show you the most messed up action movies, whatever's R-rated and has Arnold Schwarzenegger in it that you can get at the video store. So that was just being a kid and just getting to go to granddad's and watching Total Recall and stuff like that. It was fucking great.
With the 3 breasts.
3 boobs. It had eyes popping out and 3 boobs. What more do you need?
I guess that fits into this theme we're exploring here, which is loss of innocence in modern culture.
That must be, we're the same age, and the internet, the web, as the world experiences it now, didn't really kick in. We had it in 95, my mum had it.
You and I were both old enough to remember the time before the internet.
Yeah. And that was, getting porn or even a slight bit of titillation was effort. You had to have the friend with the dodgy biker dad who left People magazines out all over the place, and you'd you grab them and you go hide somewhere and go boobs. And nowadays shit's different.
I am probably a member of the last generation that swapped porn at school. I did that.
Yeah, you had to work for it.
Yeah. And it made it better.
Yeah.
It made it better when you work for it.
I do think so too. And there is something to that desensitization. If I could show 15-year-old me the things I masturbate to now, I'd probably kill myself.
I mean, that's what
I have to stop this from occurring. I'm not becoming this man.
I mean, yeah. You and I, we can look at all the tits on the internet and
it doesn't do shit.
The tits that are just there that we didn't specifically seek out. We're just not in the mood for that. No, thank you, madam. And I think it indicates or expresses or suggests or whatever word I'm reaching for here, the bullshit of censorship. Because if tits are there in with no context, they're just kind of off-putting,
I wouldn't call them off-putting, but I get what you're meaning there.
Yeah, if there's no context, if they're not pushing you in the face going, hello boys, it's just there. Yeah. I mean, they're only it's just as we said, porn was better when we had to work for it because there was that forbidden fruit aspect.
You were getting something.
We're only fascinated in something because it's denied to us.
Yeah, well, you can't have this. Why? It's the one thing I want most in the world now. It's just human nature.
Yes. Why can't I have this is the eternal question of childhood.
It worries me slightly because I'm just, I'm seeing people who are 18 now who... they would have been 5 when I was, in year 10 and shit like that. And these kids have grown up with, they barely remember dial-up.
Oh.
And that's insane to me. And I'm just you are raised by the web. I'm just waiting to hear kids on today's episode of 4chan Street, was brought to you by the letter 9000 and the number nigger. And I'm just waiting to hear kids going, I can count all the way to faggot. That's what it's becoming. There are kids who will go on to 4chan and see 4chan level shit. And when you're 8, again, I'm not big on sheltering children. Like I got, brought up watching really violent films and, seeing all kinds of, all manner of fucked up shit. But there was always an adult in the room. It was always with grandpa. It was always with dad. So there was always someone to answer questions when I asked.
Yes, someone to put it all into the right context.
And there are kids that the parents don't really get computers. The kid's got a laptop. He's in his room. He's not fucking making noise, so he's fine.
Yes, and he looks up pictures of a lady eating another lady's poo.
Yeah, yeah, that. And I'm curious because I don't think we've ever really seen the effect that this kind of thing can have on a fucking reproductive society. I'm just
that kid is gonna grow up thinking a lady eating another lady's poo is a normal part of human sexuality.
Standard.
He's probably going to be freaked out. He probably will not want any part of that.
Imagine trying to lose your virginity when that's your understanding of sex. It's just like, this is the moment where I squat over your face and shit, isn't it?
Yes, you gotta get the lady home. You had a nice dinner. She's been kind of made some suggestive flirting at the door and said, yes, I would like to come in for a cup of coffee. Then you get them into the room, you get the lights out, and then they feel a strange, wet, warm thing sort of passing between their lips, and it doesn't feel like a tongue.
Oh god, it's gonna happen. This is where our society. This is the last plague. This is what'll happen. This is what'll kill humanity. We won't be able to get it up and fuck normally anymore. It'll have to be messed up and weird, and it'll just be the thing that just kills us off.
Kids, don't shit in their mouth.
Don't. Look, if you really like that specifically, sure. Go online. You can find like-minded folk, and God bless you, have fun.
And you know what?
Clear that shit before you fucking try. Don't just do that stuff off the fucking bat.
And you know what? Maybe on the 12th or 13th date, maybe just put out a feeler over dinner. Just ask.
I was watching some shit porn the other day, and I know it's weird, isn't it? Yeah, I don't like it. Changing the subject.
And then look up your local prostitutes.
Yeah, well, that's again it's part of my very socially libertarian attitude of if it's not affecting me and it's all consenting adults, I don't give a shit and I don't understand. It's even bestiality. I don't care. I've seen dogs hump a leg. I'm sure they'd be happy to get the actual prize.
It's none of my fucking business unless it's my fucking dog.
Yeah, well, it was the whole Mr. Hands thing and that guy that got killed because an Arabian horse fucked him in the ass. And it's like, you think, you have this image in your head and it's like, oh yeah, the people who fuck animals are crazy weirdos who you can see and you go, hey, that guy's a horse fucker, and you can spot him for miles. This guy worked for Boeing. He went into the office, day to day. You'd see him and go, hey, Al, what did you do on the weekend? And he'd make up some bullshit about a barbecue when really he'd been having fucking a horse ream him. And the thing is, man, if that makes you come to work a little chipper, if that, makes you a little nicer, if it puts a spring in your step, power to you. If the horse seemed to be into it. In fact, it was so into it ruptured his guts. So, you can't really claim animal abuse. The horse seemed to enjoy it.
I think the people with the most deviant, this is no new observation, the people with the most deviant, secret desires are the ones with the most repressed outward appearances.
It's everyone who says gay people can be cured dreams of sucking cock every second of every day. I love those people because it's all, you just see them gritting their teeth and just going, I like vaginas. It's like, no, you don't.
Now, don't be hyperbolic. I'm sure they dream about other things.
Yeah, more cock. They dream about cock and more cock.
That's the same dream as the first dream.
Not to them. There's very specific arrangements.
They probably dream about...
Sometimes it's their, farmhand scenario. Sometimes, it's the pool boy, but...
They probably dream about money and restricting the rights of women as well.
Well, who doesn't dream about that? that's just standard. Yeah, that's one thing I use to tease some of my... Because, being, the person that I am, I got a lot of, very... forceful thinking friends.
Forceful. That's a good word.
It's a nice way of putting it. Yeah. I have a forceful personality, but I'm an
At least that's what she said.
But, I'll say something which outside of context would be sexist, but within the context, it's just, it's obviously used as dumb irony. And then friends of mine will immediately launch into the, you shouldn't say that rant. And it's like, it's me. It's okay. It's me. You're using this in the wrong context. I know that. I know that. It's okay. I'm not part of the crypto-fascist malocracy that's trying to oppress you at every turn. So I've just decided, fuck it. I am part of the crypto-fascist malocracy. We have meetings every week about how we're going to keep, women getting paid less and out of major positions of power. And that's... It
wouldn't be called a malocracy.
dude thing.
Patriarchy.
I just like maleocracy, and I wanted to invent a new word for it.
I think it would be androcracy. In the same way a gynocracy would be a society run by women.
The thing is, though, like, I've looked into societies run by women, like the Bonobo one, that's a society run by women. That looks like a pretty cheery society. I'd trade.
That's the bonobo monkey.
Yeah. Have you seen their society? Their society rules. Like, I'd trade. Their society is no violence and mostly fucking. I'm down with that.
Well, history has shown that matriarchies and female-run societies have tended to be more sexually open because it's men who tend to be more repressed about it.
Why? Why would you cockblock yourselves? It makes no sense.
I don't know. Perhaps we'll leave that as homework for the listener.
Yeah, there's a question for the night. You're going to write a 500-word essay on why you cockblock yourself.
Yes. Why do men restrain themselves when women are obviously so hot and ready for it any time?
At any time. Women are all wanton whores. The end.
Actually, I've been known to be a bit repressed and nervous around extremely predatory and...
I love predatory women. It makes my life so much easier.
I mean, most recently, I was...
sexually accosted?
I was practically pinned to a wall and... It was demanded of me that I make out with the lady.
I love that because it's like, this mum, you were raped? Well, at first. It's what I always think. That's the thing though. I love that shit. I love being objectified.
Well,
I love being treated like that. It's fucking great.
Well, if I hadn't wanted to make out, I could have just, deftly leapt aside as the lips came in. But
I like that. So I enjoy the shit out of that.
I guess it's part of my, upbringing.
Your unbelievable Britishness.
My stiff upper lip. My stiff upper lip. That's
you do look like you were made from part John Cleese DNA.
I must be a gentleman. I must always be a gentleman, even if they're clearly gagging for it and saying as much.
Yeah, I'm not. I used to be, and then it's like, fuck this shit. I'm a cad.
Fuck this shit.
Fuck it. I'm done being a gentleman. It's not gotten me anywhere.
Right. Time to fuck some shit. That's the least gentlemanly thing.
There's my being raised by the internet problem. It's already seeping in, and I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Hey, that's pretty much the antithesis of gentlemanliness, isn't it? Fucking some shit. Because not only are you making it a very awkward proposition for your future wife.
Yeah, that's what all the girls I have sex with are. Future wife material. I hope nobody I know listens to this.
When are you going to make those 7 or 8 people honest women? Are you sure you want to talk about it?
Well, like I say, I'm not bothered by personal shit anymore because it's like, fuck it, I'm dying. It doesn't matter.
Apparently not.
It's funny because it makes people squirm. It makes people awkward. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
we all know
it's making me squirm.
Hey, dude, you cannot talk. You're one of the most. You'll just say the most blunt shit when you get started.
Yeah,
maybe not on a podcast, but you'll say it in person.
In private, and if it's about a specific person, yes. But that's because, we are, private friends. That's because we are friends who can be open with each other.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm an open book. Fuck being mysterious. Life's hard. I'm easy.
Well, I'm ever of the mindset, as I've learned from experience, that one should always be careful of what one puts on the internet, especially considering one's future ambitions. If you got a job at the FBI
center,
and they looked up your past and they found these podcasts, that's going to be an awkward interview.
No, again,
they'll have printed out transcripts and read out things you said in a very officious sounding voice.
Come splattered 8-year-old. It's like, okay, look, in the context of what I was discussing, that was a game I used to play. It was awkward conversations for customers to walk into, and one of my favorite things, you just sort of just say a sentence like you were in the middle of a conversation within which it was relevant. And one of my favorite ones was, well, look, there was a child in it, but it wasn't child porn. And that's it was more of a supporting role. He had a fan and a palm frond. That was, it's not creepy or anything. And you just get people to look at you, which, you deserve in every sense.
I always thought it'd be fun to acquire alcoholism. Seems like something writers do.
It's one of the dignified addictions.
For the same reason I've sort of taken up pipe smoking. You could picture it, couldn't you?
You really are lost without a Meacham pipe.
I'd suck on the end when I was thinking.
Should just get a bubble pipe. That way you don't get cancer, and you can be whimsical.
Maybe I'll just, like, suck on Chupa Chups a lot, like Kojak.
Yeah, there's a thing.
I'm now comparing myself to Kojak.
When we're now sitting around actively trying to develop personality traits, just from an external point of view, it's just like, I'm gonna have this today.
I will be Kojak, and you can be Columbo.
I can't do a Columbo impression.
Well, you do stink.
I do, yeah.
Well, we should wrap this up. Thanks again for Thanks for not abandoning us, whoever you are, the 12 people currently listening to this.
Yeah, the 12 people that, like, kept hitting us up on Twitter about it.
The 12 people who kept checking our website regardless of the fact that I would not update it for months at a time.
That's an abusive relationship, the people that check that website.
You know, I think abusive defines the large majority of my relationships with people in the world.
Yeah.
I'm going to abuse you right after we sign off.
Fair enough.